Howdy, old man. Prote Texas.
The old man.
Yes.
This is Yachtline News on YouTube. Yachtline, YIOTLINE.
Yachtline stands for when they lie to us over and over and over.
How was somebody in jail?
Well, it's just COVID.
You had no blanket.
No blanket, no pad, just concrete, and spent most of my time just watching spiders.
Howdy, y'all.
Yes, be safe.
Oh, hey, you're
Oh, it's less than once. That's what you need. Yeah.
They were telling me about the last day, and the governor has
No jurisdiction. Is what it says. It's that jurisdiction. So they make a carve out that says where it says businesses that's their customers. We're not their customers. We're not city council. We're either represent constituents or address our government. There's nothing in there about a customer business relationship.
They were wrong. It's public property.
Yep.
It's not private. They actually be in there. But they don't arrest you for not wearing masks. They arrest you for.
Yep. Which is, of course, take away their it's been 8 months of showing up and make the same argument, and they expect to make the same motion. Had quite a few people reach out and say, hey, why don't you just say like that. Yeah, and the problem is you when you allow it to we have to be more Sure. It's
Red coat. Today we have a blue coat.
yep. We need people who come and that doesn't mean I'm going out lazy or anything. Right? It just means that they show up. Sure. Ask them to do the same. Yep. But this is good. I'm glad.
Yep. And there's going to be more noise because it just started.
Hey, did David bring his gimbal, or do you know?
I asked him, he said when he's using is for his phone.
I see. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah. I'm trying to get me a gimbal here. Got in a rush to take off. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it.
Turn it on for a second. Let me. Do you have any buttons underneath when you open it up? Is that a button? No. There you go. And if you need to open it up, you can set it as a tripod.
Okay, thanks. Well, thanks to the old man, I have my own little tripod. Thank you. By the way, just so people will know, you have injuries and disabilities,
Yes, I do.
and you're almost 80 years old.
Yeah, I'll be 79 next week.
Congratulations, that's a long life. Most people at 50, 60, 70, they'd quit trying to do these patriotic actions and redress their government and all that, but not you.
Well, you know, you look back at our ancestors, and like I said a few minutes ago, that we were fighting King George, and the king wanted us to comply. Our ancestors stood up to the redcoats. Today, we don't have the redcoats, we have the bluecoats and the blue line people. That we have to stand up. Our rights are like muscles. If we don't exercise them, we lose them. You know.
That's
And
a
so
fact.
I exercise my rights. There's a lot of government people that don't like it, but I'm standing up for you. I'm standing up for me, my family, my children, my grandchildren, and I have a one great-grandchild on the way. Standing up for all of the people. And if they throw me in jail, which they did, walking down a sidewalk with a flashlight in my hand.
It was dark.
It was dark. Yeah, well,
You had to
they
be able to
say, well,
see.
if you have a flashlight, maybe you're, going to burglarize vehicles. Well, from what I understand of burglars that do the vehicles, they don't turn the lights on to get attention. If I don't have a light and I walk down a sidewalk, then I'm suspicious because I don't have a light. I must be burglarizing houses and vehicles. So it doesn't matter if you have a light or don't have a light, that you're a suspect because you walk down a sidewalk on a nice cool night.
Yes, I was just thinking, the police go down the street and they spotlight houses and in between houses and front yards, and citizen patrols do that. So, you could have been reporting peeping toms or other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you would have seen somebody vandalizing some car and you probably would have notified the authorities.
Yeah. It's just, it's like 2.5 years ago, I took a picture of a vehicle that had a dark plate across the front, license plate, and a blue line on it. Well, I realized that that was against the law. Texas Transportation Code says that we, the people, have to use the license plates that they, make us pay for, and put one on the front and one on the back. And the police got upset because I took a picture.
I'm D.C.J. News Media, Chief Jones.
How about you?
I'm the old man.
The old man. That's awesome.
Yeah, throwed him in jail at nearly 80.
Yeah.
Twerked him
I
up.
had a flashlight walking down the sidewalk. A COVID-infested jail.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm News Now Omaha cop.
Yeah, I know.
You guys know?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate that.
You come down from Omaha?
I'm from Omaha. Come out from Nebraska, yeah.
You come down here from Nebraska? Hey, he come from Nebraska.
What?
He come from Nebraska.
Yeah. That's where he lives, Nebraska.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Say hello to the people.
Howdy. I had to support freedom, man. Freedom is everywhere in this country. You just gotta support it.
Yes.
Or you lose it.
You right
Yes.
about that? It's like sexing. It's like working out.
Yeah.
What about you, man? First name on.
Everybody's filming everybody with cameras. This is great.
We got a nice starting here.
Yes.
No, I made it for my granddaughter. I personally so I am perfectly fine with y'all filming me. I'm nobody important. So, this is Thomas's show. I'm here just to support. So.
Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
All that.
In your time at City Council, how many people have been trespassed in the first week?
As far as I know, this is the first time this has happened. But at the beginning of every city council meeting, the mayor reads what I say is an illegal statement. Where he says, "You're not allowed to criticize the council. You're not allowed to." You have exactly. horrible. It's one of the situations where city attorney has been here for many years. His dad was a city attorney. It's just this, you scratch my back, I think it's your back. And sure, I'll let you know the stuff. And the city attorney will say stuff like, well,
Yes,
we'll do
yes.
it in civil court and stuff. Like, that's never a legal justification, right? It's, but I've seen citizens come in and speak poorly, and the council members, get him out of here and stuff like that, but no one formally arrested him.
You guys have right here
Opinion as far as a line item for revenue that we're expecting. So that's a tricky question because historically,
Just to let y'all know, the sun or the daylight's out here and I can't read
I would hope
what y'all are posting. I'm sorry.
that every year we have,
Everybody else can though.
but it's a tricky question because we do have revenue coming in. So to not have it in the budget is just but
because there was some Google reviews on the times that there are police here on citizens costs generate revenue.
and it's, our police department is unique, and I'll say, I don't know how well this goes over with this audience.
Yeah, that is very sad.
Good officers, right?
Hello,
We
hello,
also have
hello.
valves, and we've seen
Thank y'all for being here and tuning in. Appreciate it.
it is like that everywhere. And what's important is, the good officers have to tell us about officers, or else they are no longer good officers.
And good officers don't end up getting backup when they need it, so they just keep their mouth shut and turn a blind eye until officers get through.
And that's the problem with the system, right? And I wrote a Facebook post a couple days ago that said, I'm watching your shopping trial, and I said, I hope all the bad officers are watching this, and I hope all the good officers, and I put in quotes, that sit by and do nothing, are also watching this, because that trial's coming next, right? And in that case, there was an officer, I don't know which one it was, I think it was the third one down, who at one point checked for a pulse and said, I don't feel a pulse, and he let them override him on should they do something. At one point, that same officer thinks, should we roll him to a side so he doesn't have trouble breathing, and he was overruled. Well, he did the right things, the right thoughts, but he didn't actually say, no, we're going to roll him over. I don't care that you think you shouldn't. This is what we're trained to do. We need to protect him. So good officers have to have courage, right? They have to be willing to take the risk of stepping out and doing what's
You
right.
never heard Superman say, "Get back for Superman's sake."
Sure.
It's not a sentence at all. It's a cowardice sentence.
It is. And now, what is the most annoying thing about that trial to me is they're blaming the crowd for Floyd's death. They haven't outright came out and said it yet, but over and over and over.
In talking about good officers and bad, the Texas Attorney General put out an opinion, I believe the date was December 7th of 2020, and in his opinion, he said that if an officer is doing something bad, and the officers around him do nothing about it, nothing in situation, there is insanity.
And they should be.
The Attorney General realizes that for some reason the police can't understand English.
Sure. And the problem is, the root problem is, they have a badge on their chest and a gun on their hip. That changes the dynamic, right? If I witness a cop doing something wrong, it is life or death for me to step in and try to stop them, right? And I never win that. If one of the people in the crowd would have ran and tackled Officer Chauvin to get him off of Floyd, they would be in jail right now. Floyd would be in jail. He would be alive. But sure, probably be beaten up, and they would both be in jail, and it would be washed under the rug that no, they weren't doing anything wrong. And look, he's alive, he's fine. So doing the right thing is almost impossible as a citizen because of the badge and the gun, right? And everything, like escorting someone out of a city council meeting and arresting them because they said F the police. What people don't realize is what that statement is saying is we're willing to literally kill you over this. Because if there would have been any resistance, then it could have escalated to the point. Everything the cop does has the threat of violence attached to it, right? Come pay this ticket or else we're going to come to your house and we're going to kick your door down and we're going to take you in. It was just jaywalking. But the threat is eventually you will be killed if you fight back and don't comply with this, right? And that's the problem with arresting people for classic misdemeanors. That's the problem with any of those types of things. Someone's jaywalking. There's no reason to arrest them, right? Someone is disorderly conduct. It's a classic misdemeanor. Even if it's true, there's no reason for an arrest.
They arrested Plano, arrested me Monday morning early because I was walking with flashlight.
Yeah.
Same
thing happened here.
Instead of just a citation, they put me in jail. Put Patrick in jail. The cell was filthy, you know. I spent most of the time just watching the spider walk across the floor.
Sure.
They had little dust bunnies all over the place. They had cellophane, dirt scattered here and there. So we know it's not clean. We know it's a COVID investigation.
Sure.
And the reason that they decided to put me there instead of, that was a holding cell instead of with the other prisoners, the other visitors, is that they were asking me medical questions, and I said, I'm not going to answer your medical questions. I don't have to.
Right.
And so the lady said, well, we'll put you in a holding cell until you change your mind, and that may be days.
Yeah. Until you decide to comply.
Yep.
Right? It's a ridiculous situation, and unfortunately, so many citizens have no idea. They look at a situation like that, they say, well, just comply, right? And it's a ridiculous statement. The Constitution is there to protect us. It's there for us to be able to stand on, and for us to choose if we want to waive our right or not, right? Not for a cop to choose that. And in any of these instances, right? The police chief was going to put out a statement about the arrest that happened here in the court, where he was going to say that if they would have complied, then it might have turned out different. That's a ridiculous statement for any police chief to say. That's a ridiculous statement for any officer to say. If I don't insist on my right to not be unreasonably searched and have my property seized, if I don't insist on my right to have an attorney, then you might not listen. Really? That's ridiculous, right? And to me, that alone should say we need a new police chief, right? That thing alone, that statement alone. And that was even before he orchestrated arresting somebody for expressing their First Amendment right to freedom of speech, right?
When I was in the holding cell, because I'm 78, be 79 next week. I'm disabled.
Happy birthday.
I have, thank you. And I have a number of disabilities. And so I try not to tell the police what they are because they use those areas to punish me
Sure.
to comply with their made-up laws that they make. Not what the Constitution, not what any statute says, but what they will do. I asked for to be taken to the hospital because I needed something for my age. Because they roughed me up. It's on video. It doesn't look like a lot. Somebody that
What's a lot to me is not the same as a lot to you, right?
And so, you know, I'm fragile. And so I told them I'm disabled, but they have to go ahead and grab my bad shoulder, twist my arm, you know, shove on me, push me against the wall, things like that. So I asked to go to the hospital. The guy said, well, let me check the supervisor. 15 minutes later, he comes back and said, well, you'll need to put on the orange clothes. I said, fine. About another 45 minutes to an hour, a different officer comes by and said, we need your fingerprints and your photos, but it can wait until after the hospital. Do you want to do it now or after the hospital? I said, I need to go to the hospital now. I hurt too much. He said, okay. So another half hour goes by, you know, and they do nothing. And by this time, my wife, who had found out that I was in jail, came and bailed me out. So I took my photos.
My guess is was the whole plan, right? Delay long enough until he's out of this.
We got to keep an eye on David and make sure they don't hoodwink him.
Well, if you'll do it right now, I'll give you a blanket. John calls and I'm not going to give you a blanket. So I said, wait a minute, so you're discriminating against me because of convenience?
Yeah.
I said that when we get back from the hospital, I need to go to the hospital now. So they do all sorts of unlawful things. To me, that's a cruel and unusual punishment.
Sure.
Gee, that's in the Bill of Rights. They're not supposed to do that. And what most people don't understand, the Bill of Rights aren't about our rights. It's what the government may not do to us. It's the rights that the government doesn't have. They can't come into your house without a warrant. They can't take my cell phone and go to without a warrant. Oh, I'm sorry, they did.
Hey,
Some action over there.
they said something's going on over here. I will tell
Where
you.
the entrance is, so maybe they're.
I will tell you this. The police come up with a saying about 10 years ago:
Okay.
comply or die.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like deadly force.
Sure.
I mean, when a man's got a gun on, they say comply or die.
Sure. Well, and that's like here.
Mm-hmm.
According to what David said, I assume that it's a true statement.
Yes.
That Sergeant Ayers here at one point was caught on video saying, I don't care if he has his ID, take him inside, show him his boss, running through the system.
Right.
And it's like, I am baffled that we would still have an officer working here that would be caught on camera saying that. Show him who his boss, right? That huge misstep right there.
They will give him a promotion.
Well-
Every time that happens, they get a promotion.
And in this case, not, but it definitely wasn't a demotion either, right? Like still carrying the rank of sergeant, caught on camera saying, show him who's boss, take him inside, running through the system. It's a ridiculous deal. But you look familiar. Do we know each other? You look familiar. I don't know. You live around here? I used to. Okay. In any organizations or anything?
No, just last name.
Did you used to live in Oakland?
No. My son, my kids went to high school.
Okay. Any churches around here?
Did you ever listen to him?
They're inside with their, fully automatic rifle.
Floppy, slot machine. What's going on, John? You feel all right?
At least this time when they arrested him, they didn't slam you.
Yeah, that's me.
Damon Chief Jones on YouTube.
That's me. All the time.
I even explained that I've got a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
So the sergeant comes over.
Where you out of?
He says, where's the pepper spray?
Well,
I say, "It's in my
Alabama,
jacket."
Florida,
He said, "In your back
Texas.
pocket?"
Alabama.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Listen to me. No,
And
you're not in
Texas.
charge. We are
I
in
get a
charge.
guy from
You know,
Alabama.
shove
He's
me over
down
in
Alabama.
Yeah. He's
And it was hard to tell.
He's a
if
friend of
Patrick got
mine.
arrested because
Yeah, it's pretty good
they
content.
didn't.
Yeah, he
show
does.
what he did. They
I
showed
ain't
him
seen a
putting
whole lot of
handcuffs
people
on
from Mississippi or Alabama besides him.
or whatever.
Yeah, me and John were thrown in the whole
Well,
isolation stuff.
They don't have 3802 over there or something comparable. So it makes it a little harder.
What's the police harassment like on a scale of 1 to 10 in Alabama?
We didn't have a flashlight.
Mississippi and those
then
areas.
We would be suspicious.
Well, in Alabama, pretty much, and people think in the South it's bad, but it's way worse up in the North where Birmingham is. Now, if you get down to Dothan, they have a lot of racial disparity, and there are several guys over there that take the police to task and say, hey, you're getting outside of your scope of authority. You have no right to do what you're doing, and they call them out on everything, you know. So, yeah, I worked in law enforcement 43 years. I'm retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was some audio that came out. I think it was from Auburn, Alabama.
When you buy really
They were
hot chili,
saying, tell officers you must make this many
you buy that
contacts a
really hot
month.
chili, and
You will be terminated.
Well, the way it goes, we'll have a good conversation here.
Yeah.
The way it goes is, just for example, I had a sergeant come to me back in the late 80s, which I started in 78. And he said, your activity's low. You know, you're going to what does that mean? I said, I do door checks on businesses, spotlight the neighborhoods looking for prowlers and people going around that look suspicious. Of course, you know, back suspicious ain't a crime. Suspicion at that time was watch and observe. Presence. Run, tackle them and beat them up, stop them and see what's going on. And of course, some people absolutely do know their rights, and they say, hey, I don't want to come. Well, here's the deal like in Texas. If you give a reasonable explanation, then you do what they call dispel the alarm. Once you dispel the alarm, there's no specific reason to ID you, and they can't do it unless you're lawfully arrested.
Right.
So Texas is one of the very, very best at protecting people's rights and their independence to walk up and down the streets, except where they threw them in jail for walking up and down the street with a flashlight, you know, sightseeing.
Yeah, it was down here actually. In a way, it seems like the whole place was a sidewalk, except for the patch, probably from here to that, and it was under construction, so they literally could not go any further forward. Apparently, at that point is when they were arrested for pedestrian.
Well, yeah, in other words,
Wasn't really in a road patch. It was basically in the
yeah, well, here's the thing. That's what they call an exigent circumstance. When a citizen has no other way to continue, and they know that it's safe to pass, then that comes into police bullying and overreach and all that stuff, because you know a citizen cannot go this way. And they get hung up on this thing. Are you from here? It doesn't matter where I'm from.
matter, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the United States, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we have a constitution in the state of Texas and a U.S. Constitution, and we're governed by both and protected by both. And it says the Constitution is actually a restraining order against the government.
That's a good point.
Yeah, in other words, if you read it,
lists our freedoms, it lists the things they cannot do.
right.
They cannot come into my house or your house without a warrant.
Exactly.
They
See?
can't take my cell phone and go into it without a warrant. Oh, they did that.
Yeah, they
Oh,
done that.
my wrong there. They did that in Plano. Went into my phone, took it without a warrant. Oh, gee. I thought that was Riley versus California Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, ruling basis on the Constitution, saying that it's unconstitutional for them to do it. Don't do it. And here it is, 4 or 5 years later, they're doing it.
They need to bring the Bain Act from California to
Yeah.
here, because what they're doing a lot now is they're taking the flashlights to blind people's cameras, which is really impeding on your First Amendment to be able to record.
Yeah, that's a prior restraint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
prior restraint.
Prior
Yes.
restraint is where the government is trying to censor what we're recording. They're restraining it prior to us putting it out.
Right.
So that's prior restraint. It is a violation of the Constitution. First Amendment, prior restraint, been ruled on by the Supreme Court.
What I wish I had is more knowledge of how to actually sue people for this, because I believe if people are able to start suing them for constitutional rights violations, that might bring a change, because once you start hitting them in the wallet, they're going to see it's a financial liability to keep going this route.
But see, every piece of paper you sign, you have to declare to be a U.S. citizen. Look up federal titles and code what a U.S. citizen is, and you won't find it. But to get a driver's license, Social Security, anything else, you have to swear under penalty of perjury you're a U.S. citizen. Well, unless you live in Washington, D.C. or a military enclave or something, you're not. You're a state citizen of one of the 50 states. you don't have constitutional standing. You know that? The states do, but you don't. Because you're not a party to the Constitution of the United States of America. The state is. The state's supposed to protect your interest. Yeah, so people get these misnomers. So if a state violates your rights and it comes from the Constitution, then you go into federal court and you allege your state, which is a party to the Constitution, and they agreed to it, violated your rights, which they violated the restraining order. And then they did these other things under the auspices of we're a government agency and we're here to protect the public. Well, they use the public in a totality. They say we don't have no duty to protect any individual.
That's been ruled on 3 times that I know of by the Supreme Court that the police have no duty to protect and serve.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the general public.
What do you guys think we should do about all the police harassment, civil rights violations that have been going on?
Oh,
I've got. We can counter that.
I've got a plan. I had this plan when I was in Florida and the chief of police. But the chiefs of police and sheriff's association and other associations didn't like my plan. Buku years ago, when they said if a police officer was duly charged and duly convicted by a jury of his peers or a judge if he waived jury, whatever the sentence was for the atypical citizen who doesn't know the law, and you have a man that went to an academy and learned the law, then he has to do double. So if anybody else gets a 2-year sentence, he gets a 4.
Right.
If we get a 5, he gets a 10 because he used the badge of his office or his knowledge that the government imparted to him. So he specifically, knowingly.
So like an automatic enhancement.
Yes.
Like say if it's a felony 3, it should be a felony 2.
Right.
And just bump the time up.
Sure. The other thing is, I suggested that there be a statewide board, and people run for this board, and then to be a paid position. So you got 6 or 8 or 10 people, and they would run in different districts throughout the state. So say maybe somebody in the Amarillo area, somebody in the El Paso area, somebody in South Texas. They could break it up into 6, 8, or 10 parts. And whoever wants to run, they run there, NPA, no political affiliation or independent. So basically what they do is they run for office and they get elected to this State Law Enforcement Review Commission. Then the governor swears them in and appoints them, or the attorney general. They review public cases. So they come together like once a month for an actual meeting and hearings. So you send in your reports to them, they look at it, and they hire people like me that's retired cops that look at it, that they vet out. In other words, see, I've got a civil rights background, so I'm a perfect person to look. I know exactly what to look for, and I know if the cop was legit or not. I look at the videos, I look at the police reports, I look at the statements, and I do a critical analysis, and I said, question mark, or this is definitely a review case. This definitely is not. And then I give a synopsis, 1 or 2 pages, why or why not. Did they violate policy? Policy is an internal issue. Did they violate a state law? So if they violate a policy, the department can keep them, fire them, discipline, or whatever. The public brings to bear, like, we don't like this, we want some discipline brought. But literally, there's places in Texas alone that the police union is so strong where police used to say, we just enforce the law, we don't write it. Not true. The unions are now going to legislators, lobbying them and telling them this is what we want the law to say. So the police have their own special lobby to get the laws to protect them. Not me, not you.
We need to do something about that.
Oh, yeah. So,
what do you think, if like you're saying, if they keep on going and trying to legislate laws that benefit them, where do you think the final resolution would be, where that would end?
Well, I work in a lot of think tanks, and I do a lot of advocacy. So I've been building relationships with people in government and private sector for 43 years.
Yeah.
The best I can tell you is, well, I get by. I've helped a lot of people get out of prison that were wrongly convicted.
That's great, man.
I've had police officers disciplined for what they did wrong. Sometimes I reported this, done write-ups, and a city manager would say, nah. So I can only do what I can do. I've reported to the elected sheriff or elected constables what their guys was doing. I've talked to the colonel's office at DPS about things that troopers have done wrong. But I also report the good stuff. Okay? In other words, yeah, have I drug somebody out of a car fire? Yeah. Is it a video? No, because that was back in the old days. But, you know, some people come out and say, oh, you're a hero. No. This is what I get paid to do, to risk my life to protect your life. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you call me. See, the police have a theory. If you call, you're the victim.
It seems that way.
And if 2 minutes later your call comes in because you couldn't get a signal, you go to jail because you didn't beat the other guy on the phone.
Yeah, especially with these domestic violence cases, it seems like women, they realize that they call and they say, oh, I was they take the guy automatically to jail. Seems like, you know,
That's called a pretextual. Pretextual means it's set up for one thing when they say it's for another.
right.
Let's put it this way. It works either way, but it's predominantly females, and this is statistical, it ain't an opinion, that call in, they're going through a divorce, or they're fixing to go through a divorce, or they're planning on it, and their husband doesn't know.
Subscribe to the new YouTuber, Harris County Audits. No, you, bro, go to my Omaha Cop Watch, go to my community tab, and click the link that's in there, and subscribe to Harris County Audits.
Harris County Audits.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody around here doing audits, man.
Yes. I mean, I probably have 5,000 subscriptions, and I bet you're in there.
Oh, man. Well, just type in Omaha Cop Watch in the search bar.
Okay.
And then it'll pop my channel up, click the channel, go to community tab, and you just gotta go to community tab, it's the first post I put.
Well, let me ask you a question. What do you find on a daily basis, excuse me, in the community in which you live, what do you find is the most prominent thing that police do that the public says, we want to strangle them?
I think in Omaha, the Omaha police like to just ask for ID a lot, even when there's no probable cause to ask for ID. They try to go hands-on a lot, and that's what they try to do most of the time. And they just lie, manipulate people, and they try to threaten you with jail time if you don't do this, and this. And that's what they do.
Well, do you know what a pretextual traffic stop is?
We were
Good.
just talking about that.
Yeah, I'm 43 years retired, chief of police twice, chief deputy constable once. Okay, and a lot of other things across 5 states. It's 43 years, so I know what I'm talking about. A pretextual stop is like everybody coming down this street, they're looking for a tag light out. Tag light is the most overlooked thing on anybody's vehicle. Okay, they see their brake lights or their reverse lights in windows. They see their headlights on their house, whatever.
The tag light's a license plate, right?
Yes. So see, they look for tag lights out, and then they look for anybody that weaves. Well, if you follow the average person for 2 miles down the road, they'll weave at least twice. So weaving ain't good in of itself.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you got a tag light out, that's why cars that run headlights in the daytime, civil rights groups tell people you can manually turn it off to do it, because if one of your lights is out and you don't realize it, they'll say a one-eyed jack and they'll pull you over. So that gives them probable cause to stop you. If your tag light's out, okay, you have to have running lights and brake lights, and they all have to work. So if they don't, that's the reason to stop you. The reason they want you to roll down a window on the other side is to pull through a breeze. Pull through a breeze, they smell reefer, they say I smelled this or that. So then that's probable cause to look. Now, wherever your hands can immediately go, at the stop, they can get you out of the car to make sure you have no weapons in hand's reach. But see, when they ask you, do you have any weapons, that's a criminal question, or a question that can arise to criminal liability. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. I
That's a
just
good
know.
tip right there.
So here's the deal. The smartest thing to do, in my opinion, is when they ask you to have any weapons in the car, say, do I have a right to remain silent, or am I forced against my will to answer questions? And can I have a lawyer present when we talk? And they're going to tell you no. You just need to tell me if there are any weapons in there. Well, but that could lead to criminal liability.
Yeah, good.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you're asking me questions that's incriminating, which is against my Fifth Amendment, and I wish to remain silent. Well, I want your driver's license and your insurance registration. So you want me to produce possible criminal liability information to you. So you want me to help build a case for you against me. I can't help you with that. And I don't consent to get out of the car, and I don't consent to be searched. I don't consent for my car to be searched. So everything you do is under arrest because you got a badge, you got a gun, and I see how police shoot people. So I'm afraid you might shoot me. If you are under American Disability Act, ADA, and the police mere presence triggers you because you've had bad encounters, etc., then you can request an ADA advocate come to the scene.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Go back to what we were saying.
Yes, sir.
before we walked up.
Yes, sir.
In the circumstances of, let's say you're going through a divorce.
Yes.
Similar circumstances. What's your opinion on women that will call the police, say I was assaulted, and they really wasn't, and the man's automatically taken?
Well, first of all, they're filing a false police report. Then when the police get there and they're investigating, then they're giving false statements to law enforcement. So you could have two charges. If they sign a sworn statement, then that's perjury, a written record of perjury. So you could have three. That's what they call stacking. You can run them together, or you can stack them one on top of the other.
And you were an officer in Texas?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
Yeah.
I drove down here from Fort Worth.
Yeah. Well, I've got a lot of friends and alliances. In fact, do you know what police do these days to out bad cops?
What's that?
They call David.
David.
They call me. They call me. They call Patrick. They call
What's
us.
your name on YouTube? I don't.
Oh, it's Damon Chief Jones.
Damon Chief Jones.
Yeah, it goes D.C.J. News Media.
D.C.J. News Media. Okay.
Yeah, it's my initials. So.
Be sure to give me some, man. You have some good knowledge.
Yes, well, I got about 300 videos that talk about all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
But here's the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Put it this way, this is a pretextual thing. A woman, it could be a man, this does happen, but it's usually the other way around. Then say all of a sudden, you're eating supper in your house. Here come the police in, and she's crying, and she's knocked herself in the face or something, right?
Or you hit your knee on the table.
Right.
And then say I was.
So because she has a legal right to be in that house, she invites the police in. Now they don't need no warrant. She invited them in.
Even if their name's not on the lease.
Well, if she's the wife and she lives there, yeah. If they're a guest in your home, yeah.
Now let me ask you this: in Texas, if you live together for 6 months with your girlfriend, is that a common law marriage?
The way I recall it, of course, you know,
She's technically your wife, not common law.
I have to brush up on a few things because I've been gone for a while and I've been back for a while, so I'm still brushing up on some of the new changes. Okay, I was gone for a quarter century, traveling around from country here and there, working all different capacities. Some on the record, some off the record. I can talk about what's on the record, but I'll talk about what's off the record because I work special operations. And I've done a lot of special government operations, mainly just those going into, hey!
You are a retired law enforcement.
Yes, ma'am.
So am I from Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, happy Wisconsin Day.
This is like a nice day in July.
Yes, it is.
Green Bay. That's my favorite thing.
Well, I don't. My math, all my math is at Green Bay Packer games. I've been to dozens of Packer games.
That's awesome.
My boyfriend and I went on our first date at
So what brought you to the rally?
the
Oh wow, that's awesome.
and they upset me that law enforcement would act that way. Because I would never act that way. Management tried to make me angry.
Yeah, we've supported good officers. This guy said he was an officer for 40-some years.
43.
He's really smart.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this interview with you, man.
My captain.
Let me tell you this. You don't know your duty, but she does. She's told her lawyer you're a bad guy. So she does so. She calls the police. Guess who's going to jail? You. So now there's a record. Yeah, there's a record created. They're going to take pictures. She's going to say you did it. Okay, so you're automatically assumed guilty where you're supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Okay, but they're going to treat you guilty. They're going to send her to hospital, so now you got records stacking up. Now she goes and files a restraining order against you, against her, and any children you have. She goes to a family court. I need emergency custody.
Stop your kids.
Yeah.
No due process, basically.
Well, it'll be a temporary order. And whether it's 3 days, 2 months, there'll be something. Then they'll send in families and children or whomever. Depends on what state you're in. But they'll send somebody in to do a fact-finding mission. And remember, this is mama's babies, and she's telling them how it is. Yep.
Yeah, man, that's some good knowledge. It's bad how they, it seems like the women in the court of law have a sense of entitlement, really, based on just statements alone.
Well,
They don't
that's-
really, because if they take the woman's statement and run that as facts, the only thing if the man says, no, I didn't do it, and there ain't no really visual evidence, it should be 50-50.
Well, here was the assumption. Government makes a lot of assumptions and presumptions.
Right.
And some of them make sense, but most of them do not. When you get a chance, look up maxims of law. Maxims of law. Like if the law is uncertain, there is no. So if the law is kind of broad or it's you can't really understand what it's saying, then it's uncertain. The community don't know what it means, then it's unenforceable. And things have to be open and notoriously posted. So when you get out of high school, Texas Chemical Companies, did they teach you the laws of your city?
No, they don't.
Okay, so you have a high school diploma and you're considered an educated man, you're 18, 19 years old, or however old you are when you go. So then at that point in time, at that point in time,
Yeah.
you're I had to think about that for a minute.
It's a lot of knowledge to take in and memorize.
Well,
Really educate people on.
put it this way. Every time I went to some state, I had to go to some police academy. I had to learn their laws.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
There's not really any consistencies from
Right.
state to state.
okay, I've talked to people that's gone to school, college for 4 additional years. Said, did you learn state laws? No. Did you learn federal laws? No. So you're living in a jurisdiction that has secret knowledge that nobody taught you. Now you have a 4-year degree or whatever, and you don't know the laws. How are they going to hold you accountable for what you don't know?
Exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. In Florida, they come up with a law that if you sniffed noxious fumes and you were driving, you could go to jail for DUI. Nobody knew about the law. First person I had a sergeant, he was the first person in the entire state to arrest somebody for it because they had some rags down by the side, and they said, well, I'm a mechanic. So that don't smell like mechanic stuff. See, that was an opinion. He wasn't a doctor, he ain't qualified.
Right.
But he arrested the man for sniffing it. Got convicted
Oh, wow, that's
of a DUI. He was a mechanic. Later on appeal, it was overturned, but the point is, who would know that? And what is a noxious fume? That's open to opinion.
yeah.
Of course, you know, sometimes I think they went back and put the law, did a amendment to it where it says that it's more likely than not, where it's likely to cause you to be.
Looks like they got a crowd of people walking over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check you out for real, man. I'm gonna hit the notifications on like how
Oh yeah.
you've been on the other side of it, so you know what they're going after.
Oh,
You know how to counter it.
yeah. I mean, put it this way: all I do is use the knowledge I have rightly. I'm also a minister of the gospel, so as part of my ministry is to help people. Now, I've had good cops and other cops turn against them. I've helped them good cops too.
About 50 people out here so far.
I was fixing to say this.
How's your church?
Some people go to church.
What is today?
Saturday.
Saturday.
You get your 5th day evangelist.
Seventh day.
7th day, there we go.
Yeah, they go on Saturdays. Yes.
See, here go to church for
Well, see, even though on cop cars it says Texas exempt on the license plates, I've been looking at license plates that I can see and catching at least a few digits sometimes and looking at another one. So I think I've counted 23. Well, here comes 24.
They have a large police presence in this town. How many people live in this town? Do you guys know?
116,000 approximately.
116,000.
Yeah.
You got 60-something police officers in it.
Well, I live in Fort Worth, and I believe there's 900,000, and there's not nearly as many as you can see in Fort Worth compared to here.
Well,
Which makes me think the whole police harassment here runs rampant. Like
well, hey, he's got that. F the LaPorte police, and that guy come by on the motorcycle, gave him a bird.
Wonder what that means.
Yeah.
He agrees with it?
Yeah, I mean, well, if he showed him the finger, he's giving him the flag. He hits the greeting sign.
I'm surprised he's on one here with us. I figured there'd be a lot of federal signs.
Yeah. So LaPorte police had police cars behind buildings down here on the side streets. So they can all respond in 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds.
They had, we were down here in the same area they got arrested on. They had 4 police officers lined up over there. I mean, I think what they were doing, they were afraid people might go to that neighborhood and protest.
That makes 25.
You know, that crawls up there and makes him want to just
In the past, I only think we've been here about 30 minutes. I've been here about 30, 45 minutes.
Something like that. Hard to tell. What time is it?
1 o'clock.
Yeah, I've been here probably 45, 50 minutes,
Been
something
here
like
about
that.
an hour.
How many miles wide is this county?
Lord, don't get me to line.
Hey, everything you will ever need to know is right here on this phone.
I know, but I'm on video.
That's
I got it.
that is the world.
How many miles wide is Prote Tx?
Because we've been circled. Now they got 2 police officers over here.
Yeah, you probably need to ask.
Back up.
You hear what you got to ask. How many square miles?
Okay.
How many square miles? What are they doing now?
How many square miles does the Prote Tx have?
Hey, Pat, looks like they're calling for backup.
How many square miles?
Looks like they're calling for backup down there. 27.
22 mile radius.
Yeah.
On one side of it. It's kind of strange because that's probably the majority of the officers in this county that have just been circling around here.
Well, we received information. Let's just say we received information that 40 DPS troopers were sent here by order of the governor by request of the colonel from the chief of police here asking.
Oh, wow.
Now, that'll be found out pretty soon because those are all in records and the state's open records. Yeah. And that includes emails, videos, officers' notes. Yeah. So I'm the last person they want to mess with. Well, no, I'm probably the first person they want to mess with because some of them think I'm a turncoat. No, I've been this way my entire life. My daddy said the only good reason or only good thing I can think about you being a cop is you're on the straight and narrow, and if you take the job, some bad guy can't take that job. And enough if you take these cop jobs, we'll have good cops. I mean, I spent my time taking a lot of juveniles home, talking to their parents or grandparents or guardians, and letting them talk with them. And I say, listen, now if I leave here and they call me and you've beaten up on them, well, you got to go to jail, okay? So nothing, you know, but you can talk to them and try and help them get on the straight and narrow. We don't start them a juvenile record and introduce them to the system, and they get down there with real bad people and learn worse.
Yeah. You don't get better when you're a juvenile, put in juvenile facilities. You just get worse from there.
You learn to
Yes. Yeah, for
you may
real.
have started out just a petty thief, but you learn to be a criminal.
Yeah.
My son
And a
just-
lot of them become criminals as adults, too.
Yeah, my son just got out of prison. He'd been in there 5 years. The man doesn't pay for cell phone bills. They taught him how to get around all of that. I mean, he's such a criminal now. I don't like to be around him.
Put it this way. A young guy, 17, which would go to the county jail, he spent 3 months there, okay? And that 3 months there, he learned how to counterfeit some of the best counterfeit in America. Now, I don't think it was 3 months he was out, 1 million counterfeit notes that was traced back to him showed up.
Oh,
That
wow.
was from a 3-month stay over a disorderly conduct or something. So, yeah, so they taught him how to go from small town to big town.
Yeah, and he's real young and his
Yeah.
brain ain't fully developed.
And then some of them went in, and everybody's got their view on this, okay? People's got their First Amendment right. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. It's just their right. You're right, my right, everybody's right. But some of them go in and they learn how to get in the pornography business. They learn how to get phone numbers in Jamaica and other places, and they'll call your phone remote from the United States to Jamaica and back, and you're like, and they'll hang up. And then you'll call to see who it was. And it costs you like a $10 connection and $4 or $5 a minute. And you're like, hello, hello? And then you hang up. They'll turn around and call you back and hang up. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I missed them. And you call back. You get a phone bill for anywhere from $50 to $300 or $400.
$250. Luckily, my bank caught it
Yeah.
and shut it off. Now, I got what money I got in my pocket today, but I don't have it.
Yeah, man, they shouldn't call you a turncoat. If they got a problem with what you're doing out here, teaching people the law, then really they're the turncoats because it seems like they're preying on the uneducated.
Well,
I wouldn't say the weak because you can be a strong man, but, you know, tasers and guns, they don't care what you bench press. They'll still get you in that car. It really comes down to your education.
huh.
Your survival instincts.
You know, I'm wondering how come somebody don't go down there and make the U-turn and come around and see what's going on down there. Get some choice video.
Down there earlier.
Huh? Yeah, but if you go down there and make a U-turn, you can video close up what's happening. I'm gonna go see who else I can hang out with for a minute or two. Hey, did you see that guy come by on the chopper? He helped you out? The guy that come by on the chopper, he gave you the finger, you know? Or was that you with the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I seen him coming down.
Another
And
guy too in his truck.
yeah, D.C.J. News Media.
D.C.J.
News media. Yeah, so he was helping you out.
He was helping me out, yeah.
Yeah, he was letting you know, I concur. I agree.
Mute sign for something.
Oh, you were loud. Okay. All right, I just I'm gonna hit the notification bell too. See these ads, all pornography ads.
Yeah, we don't do none of that nasty stuff.
Where's the trying to hit the notification bell for you?
Huh.
Oh, you're aware about gang stalking too?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you know about gang stalking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. I help people out with that.
I need to show you my. Okay, I think I hit the notification bell on it.
Okay.
My friend Ocho Houston, not to tell you one, he was gang stalked so bad he had to leave New Florida, and apparently they're over there gang stalking him now. We believe it's because he had 3 aggravated assault charges he was found innocent of,
Right.
and I think they're afraid he's going to try to countersue him. But he, if you look him up, he don't even audit. He had the police coming up to him almost on a daily basis,
Yeah.
just trying to see what they could do to try to take him to jail.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's the hookup. Yeah, a lot of pistolas out here. Some you can see. Some maybe you can't. I don't know. If you can't see it, you don't know. Another Laporte turning around. Yes, sir.
Police officer. Hey, guys, go to Omaha Cop Watch, go to my community tab, and check out Harris County audits. She ain't popping up right now, so if you go to the link directly, you subscribe to Hannah Hopper Bro, she will pop up on the screen. So Hopper Bro, get it to 100 subscribers. Basically, we're all
Yeah.
If you don't, I'll come here.
Howdy.
And I'll audit outside your place. I'm going to go take a picture. I like that video we did of the parties. It's like I'm gonna respect the homeowner. Because that's not big. Yeah. Oh, I got one when you were ready.
Yeah, both of us.
You camera?
And we're gonna do
The dynamic duo.
Alright. One more?
He smiles when he says that, right?
Yeah. Hey. Fine. How you been?
Good. Good.
Well, you got anything you want to tell my peoples?
What?
Oh, you got to get one more.
I'm the tall white guy in the back. Look at this. I make all of y'all look short.
All right, check it out.
And I'm the one that
It's ready to go. Just punch the center.
So how many fillings, babe? So you're 8 fillings this morning, so I'm still kind of, that's why I'm wearing my mask.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. The three amigos.
Thank you.
Where's
The Godfather, man.
It's a good
I see
thing.
a DPS back
They're
up,
all over.
but he's just like sitting there at that U-turn.
They're making sure that there's not going to be problems.
Yeah,
Let me walk over here.
there's 40 of them dispatched to here from what we get.
What are they doing?
The chief of police here called the DPS colonel, who basically talked to the governor, and they sent 40 over here just in case.
So that's why they keep coming.
Yeah, they're circling around, they're stationary. So they basically have been told to stay back, just to be a show of force. How you doing there?
Damon, how's it going?
I'm hanging in. Well, I've been waiting to see you face to face for forever.
Yeah, I hear you. You too. Probably come up here and walk around a little bit, ride around.
I'm glad you come to protect us.
Yeah,
You brought some protection.
I did. I got to go get it too out of the truck. I didn't want to carry it in the building.
Yeah. They might try and hoodwink you.
Make something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are Oklahoma, News Now
Yeah.
Oklahoma or something?
OKC, News Now KC.
You're the one on the picnics on the public easement?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, but I carry on the public easements.
Like picnics, chairs and stuff. I've seen you once. Was it you?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the umbrella and everything set up. I love that one.
I carry in city parks and places that triggers people. They just need to get used
Yeah.
to it.
Around here there is a lot of parks that have no weapons. I open carry. I called the sheriff. I told him, why is there that sign over there? It just says no weapon. I mean, it leads people to believe. The Arman Bayou Park on Bay Area.
Some of them are old
A lot
signs.
of parks around here. Yeah, you need to remove it. I told the sheriff. He said, I'll tell my boss. Right.
I've got 4 or 5
That's it
cities
there.
to remove them signs from parks.
I
Go
don't
to
know the
city council
procedure.
meetings. I
I
go to
think-
city council meetings and bring the law. Say, hey, I understand it's just an old sign, but it needs to go. Bring your signs in compliance with state law. State preemption says you can't
The
make any
formal
laws.
complaint must be filed with whom? The DA or somebody?
I go to city council meeting.
You go to city council meeting.
I do the city council meetings and send an email to the city manager or the mayor and forward it to the city attorney. Attorney will review
What
it.
if it is a county park?
Yeah, did you go to that van or that vehicle?
No, I was doing my camera.
They're over there filming us.
Yeah, I saw that.
Lincoln.
This is my good side.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I'm gonna go get my gun back on.
Yeah, they might be hoodwinkers and hijackers.
How you doing? You ain't get out of this car. I'll be a fucking movie. You would have.
Yeah. Another DPS. They're just circling. That's what they call a show of force. A show of force. When they come in groups and they circle around, they're saying, we're here, we're here, we're here. Like that's going to be a big deterrent. Ain't nobody out here violent. Everybody's shooting the breeze, just talking.
want it on mute? Okay. What I'm gonna do is because it's live stream, I can't kill it. I'm gonna mute it and aim it at your neighbor.
If I do, I'll be off. Hey, I got to talk to the old man and take a breather. I walked around here about 10,000 steps, it seems like. I'm going to take myself a little break and get something cold to drink, like some ice water. I'll be back. Thank y'all. God bless. Bye-bye.